let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons. Great news early on for the Atlanta Falcons. Got two quarterbacks on this roster. Everyone wants to know what is the future at the quarterback position. But we've got an update today telling you it doesn't matter because both of them doing pretty good. I think this is great news for Atlanta Falcons fans. Let's get in the article. We talk more about it on the other side. This is from Falcon Report. It says, from the very first full group meeting of the offseason, Cousins has emerged as a leader. He gave a presentation to the whole room, then ate lunch with the offensive line during the first day. For rookie minicamp, he took tight end Kyle Pitts and receivers Drake London and Darnell Mooney to Tampa, Florida for a meeting with ex-NFL head coach John Gruden. Through his vast array of dad jokes, movie quotes, and on-field intentionality, Cousins has generated respect inside Atlanta's building. He's been sharp during drills, and his chemistry with his new group of weapons is noticeable. On the other side of this, the 24-year-old Penix has been as one would expect. His arm strength stands out. His accuracy has been a bit of a roller coaster, but his leadership and willingness to learn have been praised by coaches. In essence, it's been a fine start for Penix, while many other rookie class have been largely status quo throughout. Again, from over on Falcon Report. Sounds like both these guys doing just fine, Nick. I'm curious what your thoughts on this latest update are, but Falcons fans, in the comment section below, I want to know who is your favorite Atlanta Falcons QB of all time when we're talking about the QB position. Obviously, there's two marquee guys here that you probably think of in recent memory, but I want to know who are your favorite Falcons quarterbacks of all time in the comment section below. But Nick, what are your thoughts on the latest update on the QB situation?
Look, when it happened, when the Falcons drafted Michael Penix, right? Everyone sat there and said in the media, it's a terrible pick here, right? What are you doing? You spent all the money on Kirk Cousins. You should have gotten an edge defender. And a number of people, I'd like to think smart people that we listened to said, listen, it's clear what they're doing. They're following the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes model, right? You know, if you want to be a little bit more dark about it, you could go, they're following the Seattle Seahawks, Matt Flynn, Russell Wilson model, right? They're taking two shots at it, veteran and young quarterback, veteran to get it going, young quarterback to be the future, right? It's clear, it's obvious that was what their strategy was. A lot of people said, it's dumb, it's stupid. What are the Falcons doing? But we're starting to see through OTAs, right? We're starting to see through practices. The plan is literally falling perfectly into place. You've got Michael Penix Jr. literally learning how to be a quarterback, being a leader, showing off his physical attributes while having time to improve his weaknesses, which right now is his accuracy, which, by the way, when you hear accuracy, that's a little bit of a misnomer. Actually, it's a huge misnomer. Really, his issues with accuracy so far have been timing, right? He's throwing the ball a little too late, a little too early, especially on deep routes, right? Timing comes with reps, comes with practice, comes with understanding an NFL offense. He'll get that figured out. A lot of talented young quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, had issues early on in their careers, specifically their rookie years, with timing. Frankly, every single rookie quarterback does. It's really hard to get that figured out. Michael Penix Jr., his leadership, his arm talent, all looks really good. That's why you drafted him. And now you've got time to develop and figure out the timing, which will improve his accuracy, right? You got Kirk Cousins being the leader, being the guy you brought him in to be, to change the culture, to get the Falcons back to winning and not underperforming the way they've done the past couple of years, but living up to or exceeding their talent level. This was the clear strategy. Anyone with half a brain cell could have recognized exactly what the Falcons are doing, and the strategy is literally working perfectly, right? And I get it. It's OTAs, right? We haven't even played preseason games yet. It's early. A lot of things can happen. But the reality is the strategy is clearly working both sides of the apple here. Kirk Cousins changing the culture, being the great leader. Michael Penix Jr. flashing his talent, improving on his weaknesses, slowly developing, right? That was clearly the Falcons' strategy, and the reports we're seeing is that it's working absolutely perfectly. It's early. I get it. Don't oversell it. We're going to hear it all the time in the comment section, yada, yada, yada. But Falcons fans, you have to admit it. The early returns for this move that was so widely panned by the so-called experts are looking really good for the future of your football team.
Yeah, and when we talk about Michael Penix, the article talked about it. We've talked about it numerous times. What do you think? You think athletic, mobile quarterback potential? You think huge arm, can make all of the throws? When you think Kirk Cousins, what do you think? You think strong leader, great locker room presence, a guy who's the king of accuracy and timing. You don't think a guy with a major cannon. I'm sure he has decent arm strength, but that was never, he wasn't a Matt Stafford. He wasn't a Joe Flacco type of player as far as guys with incredible arm strength. But I think this is another deep part of the plan that you see. You bring in Michael Penix, a guy that has so many physical tools, then you bring in another guy who has everything that Michael Penix isn't necessarily either missing is the wrong term, hasn't learned yet or doesn't have quite yet. So you bring in a guy like Kirk Cousins, he's already showing him, hey, this is how you be a leader of the football team. You take Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Darnell Mooney down to Florida, and rub elbows with John Gruden, get some reps in together, build that chemistry. As in the article is showing, their chemistry is becoming evident. You show Michael Penix, hey, look, we're working through this timing routes. Watch me, see what I do here. Kirk Cousins is actually the perfect example. I know people also said stylistically, they're very different quarterbacks. But Kirk Cousins is the perfect guy for Michael Penix to learn from, because Michael Penix doesn't need to learn how to throw the ball further. He's already got that part down pretty good. The things he needs to learn are the things that Kirk Cousins actually does best. He's probably one of the best in the NFL at doing the things that he does very well, as far as, accuracy, timing, all of those kind of things as far as the quarterback position goes, and being a strong leader on a team. So I think this is a great move by the Falcons. And if you look into this, like you said, if you got half a brain cell, you're seeing the Falcons had a plan, and it's showing that it's working very well so far.
And what you just described, and again, it's early, is literally exactly what happened with Patrick Mahomes, Alex Smith in Kansas City. Now, will Penix be Mahomes? We don't know. Time will tell, right? That's a huge standard. But the reality is the plan is working. What they set in motion back in April that people were very negative about, it's clearly working out just like that. Kirk Cousins, accuracy, career completion percentage. Kirk Cousins, 67% completion percentage, right? He led the NFL in completion percentage in 2015. He's accurate. He understands timing. He understands working with receivers. Penix can learn from him. Kirk Cousins' strengths, I love the way you said that. Kirk Cousins' strengths perfectly align with what Michael Penix needs to work on, just like Alex Smith's strengths perfectly aligned with what Patrick Mahomes needed to work on, right? We'll have to see how it all shakes out, but it is undeniable so far that the Falcons move they set in motion in the first round of the 2024 NFL Draft is going 100% according to plan.